Yeah. Middle finger.
People that are just listening.
Yeah, if you're just listening, Pat's giving the middle finger a lot.
For everyone at home.
For all those, I do like. I had to take some time here this week because I usually watch the episodes, in review. But this time I watched it and I listened to it in the podcast arena.
Oh, wow.
And I got to tell you, man.
Which one's your favorite?
It's a tough one. That's the problem.
Okay.
I really like the format of it for an audio-only experience.
Yeah, it's not bad. We do a good job building a world here.
I think we do. I think it's good for world building. I think it's good for... First of all, I just want to welcome everybody to episode 7, season 3, episode 7 of the 6am podcast.
Woo, woo.
I'm here with my very good friend and co-host, Mr. Pat George.
Hey guys, how's it going, everybody?
Well, I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Friday.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're recording this on a Friday.
Yeah.
We've been a little bit lax in our release schedule, but
Got a little wonky, yeah.
But I will say that we have consistently released episodes every week.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so we shoot for Mondays, but sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
We can't control everything.
If you shoot for the moon, you'll at least reach the stars.
It's a very good point.
That's the term, right?
It's a very good point. And we do our best, everybody, and we appreciate your patience and also your patronage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks for listening and so forth. We've got we got an interesting topic, I think, today.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they're going to be expecting this one.
No, I wasn't expecting it. Like this
Right.
this is cool. That I like the fact that because you were saying like, oh yeah, I got some topic ideas. I got some things in the hopper that I want to shoot your way. And you immediately came up here and you're like, no, this is the one.
This is the one. It was the one that's been on my mind all
So
week.
I was ready to volley, go like, I don't know, this one, maybe that one. And you're like, no, this is it. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but before
Yeah.
we get started, I have something special for our 6 a.m. Listeners.
Ooh.
And that is this week. I think this segment that we're going to do here is going to be dedicated to one of our students. It's going to be dedicated to Shannon. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because we got into a conversation this week at the gym, and it had to do with insults. and we were focused primarily on Italian insults.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I found out for our listeners at home is that America sucks at insults.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, we think we're good, and I can appreciate that it's in context to where you are and so forth, but I got to be honest with you. I have a treat for everybody today.
I did you see when I lit up when you brought this topic up? This is another surprise. I feel like part of I will take some of the responsibility for us getting wonky on our schedule because it was my birthday this past week, and I appreciate everybody's birthday wishes and enjoying again the patronage of the podcast and everything. But this feels like my birthday present.
By the way, happy birthday, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And he said it on the birthday too.
I did send it on birthday day.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm excited.
In honor of Shannon and Pat's birthday.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because Pat was the catalyst for this conversation, and unfortunately, there's no way to replicate the hilarity of that.
I can't recreate it.
It was something. All right, but it led to this. Like, I had to know more about the insults of our Italian friends. So the big one was like trying to figure out like what different ways do we all tell each other to go fuck ourselves, right? Like,
Yeah.
So this is great. I'm not going to read the Italian because I don't speak Italian and I would slaughter it. But let me just say that the first one goes like this. Are you ready, Pat?
Yes, I'm ready.
Go fuck your dead family members. Or go fuck the souls of your dead family members.
Right, because this was Shannon was bringing up. She was bringing up the fact that we have no specificity in this country. There's in Italy.
right.
There's a where, when, and how.
Right.
Of like every insult.
Right. You don't, it's not left to guessing how I'm supposed to go fuck myself.
Yeah. Who do you want to fuck my mother? Oh no, wait.
No.
I want a zombie to fuck your mother in a winery. Got it? Capiche?
Capiche. Okay, next one. Speaking of moms,
right.
The next one is up your mom's ass.
Why is it got me my mama? What are you talking about my mom? Hey!
But if you're not satisfied with that, they can also tell you to go take it up your ass.
Oh well, okay, of course, yes.
But this one's, that
go
one's,
to the winery, take it up your ass.
Right. This one happens to be one of my favorites, and that is like when you want to tell somebody like to lay off. Okay, they say get off my balls.
Do you have the Italian there?
I do, but I'm not going to.
Let me try the Italian.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or which one are we doing? Which one?
Jeff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be
okay, good. So which one do you want to do?
What was up your mother's ass?
Okay, up your mom's ass. That's number 2. It's sitting right here. Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to you.
Number 2?
Yeah, it's at the top.
In culo a tua madre. That's pretty good.
That was good. Yeah. Do get off my balls.
Get off my... Where's that one?
It's number 4, I think.
Go take it up your... Oh, okay. Get off my balls, all right? Levate da go... Wait, hold on.
Yep, it's okay.
Coglione? Yeah, that one's a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Coglione?
Yeah, hit it.
Take it on my balls, motherfucker. Wait, no. Take it up your mom's balls.
Okay, all right, good. So moving on.
Culo e madre. I like that one.
Okay, so I mean, okay, so when you want to say something like you're on your own, their way of saying it is cling to your own cock.
That one doesn't even have to be dirty. Why they make that one dirty? Cling to your own cock?
Yeah, cling to your own cock. So like you're on your own.
So they're not even. Oh, so they're saying like, hey, you got your.
Hey, you're on your own. You better cling to your own cock.
Yeah, grab your dick. Fucking go out into that winery. Why do I keep saying winery?
I don't. Maybe it's just the Italian in you.
Hey.
Okay. So next, like this one is labeled as not common, but a doozy, and I have to agree. Go give a blowjob with your ass.
I like this.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because oftentimes, pucker is used for both your lips and your butthole.
That is true.
So I like that comparison. That is a fucking brilliant goddamn insult.
Listen, this is why. I
just visualized it.
And I will have to say that it does form some form of unity with our Italian brothers and sisters, because we think of ourselves as separate countries, but really there's unity in this.
That is
beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
I appreciate the fact that Shannon could inspire such an incredible. Do you think really we could make this a regular segment?
I think we probably should. If we could find like the different insults from different cultures.
Nothing racist.
No.
Nothing.
No. So far we're doing great here.
And really, none of those are like homophobic in the sense of like. Again, if it's a specificity.
There's a lot of butt play in it.
Yeah, but it's not like. It's not homophobic. You're lesser of a person. It's just saying, you know what you should do? You should take your asshole and go suck a dick with it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and if you're not satisfied with that, you should take something and put it in your ass.
Put it in your ass.
Or your mom's ass.
Okay. I like a negotiate. Like this is so now again, if you could picture like mafiosos,
right?
Mafioso,
yeah,
right? They're sitting at a table and they're just like, hey, they're just these are the rules, these are the stipulations,
like,
these are your options.
Yeah.
Either you can suck a dick with your butt, stick something up your own butt, or your mom's butt.
Your call.
These are your capiche?
Capiche?
Hey.
Okay. Speaking of this does beg the question, like, what should I put up my ass? This next one says
this is in the category of what should go in my culo.
That's right.
Cula.
Stick a boat up your ass.
What the fuck? How?
with the oars out.
Oh my god! I like that.
That is definitely a mafia.
That was
term
from the
right
Italian Rock.
Yeah,
that is the epitome of turn it sideways and stick it up your candy ass.
That's right.
With the oars in it.
With the oars out.
Can you show me the Italian? Can I just?
Yeah. Would you like to read it?
I don't know if I could say.
Okay,
boat
it's
in
number
Italian.
7 right here. Okay,
number 7.
Yeah.
Ficati une barca in culo con I remi a parti. Stick a boat in your ass with the oars out. I don't want to actually like memorize that one just in case I go to Italy and I'm like, where's the bathroom? Ficate what the fuck did you just say? No. Up your mother's ass.
No. I meant your mother's ass.
Yeah, where can I take my mother's ass to go to the bathroom?
Well, that's a great question because the next one answers this, I think, in some ways. Okay, take it in your ass from a runaway donkey.
Whoa! Donkeys have famously large dicks. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Wait, so by a runaway donkey, not even a tamed donkey. Like it doesn't have to. It would be a runaway. I'm assuming feral, somewhat. Donkey.
Yeah. I mean, an undomesticated donkey.
Yeah. An unrefined donkey dick. Yuck.
Yeah. I think, right. So this one's used often in Rome, it says, and it actually makes very little sense. And it sounds something like one of my kids would say, which would be like, go die murdered. I mean, how do you... That's
kind of redundant, right?
Well, like saying you stupid idiot. Like, I mean, you've kind of done the same thing.
Go die murdered?
Yeah, go die murdered. I mean,
that's
the
like
rest of these aren't...
Waking up dead, right? Isn't that like another thing? Like
I don't... you can't do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
What, like
maybe it doesn't translate.
In like heaven?
What, did you just tell me to go to heaven?
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Will do.
Message received. Okay. The other ones are kind of like the rest of them are kind of like
go to heaven in your mother's ass.
Yeah, right. Your mother gives blowjobs for a living.
Yeah,
all right, big one.
Yeah,
but that reminds me. So because we can just end this right now because the one that Shannon contributed to us was and one of my favorites ones because I was like, man, that one's a killer. Is that your mother gave birth to a whore?
Yeah, that's a thinker. One of those things where you're like, whoa,
and I'm like, wait a minute, did she?
When there's math involved, that's what I'm saying. Like that's diabolical. When you take not only do you take an insult and make it so specific, but you also bring the math into it.
Yeah,
it's a literal thinker of having to go like, I know I was insulted, but to what level was the insult that I just received?
Right.
Do you want me to stick something up my mother's culo or my culo? Me culo.
I mean, I only have so much time in a day.
What about Kyle Kula?
What about Kyle Kula? Which, by the way, I'm digging into all the time. Yeah.
Jeff keeps digging into his Kula.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a segment where you send in your favorite
insult
in a foreign.
Maybe you have like a heritage that gives you an interesting insult.
Yeah.
Please send it in because we'd love to know about it.
Yeah. So send us your favorite
curse.
Send
us your favorites. Yeah. And when we get T-shirts made, guys, I'm telling you right now, we'll pick the best one. You guys get a free T-shirt.
Yes. Incentive.
Yeah.
I like that.
It'll be great. So good. Oh. Well, that leads us to our main topic, which is a bit more sad than insults
or melancholy.
Yeah, or melancholy. You are.
Yeah. Not just a hat rack, my
English
friend.
Language,
yeah,
my friend. Your mastery of it,
I'm trying,
is impressive.
I'm honestly trying this time. 7 shows in, this is the one I'm going to try.
I think this is it. That's good because we're going to dig deep. Okay, so we have this happens obviously on a regular basis. Is that some celebrity, whether they're world renowned or maybe they're just a celebrity in your small world of interest, passes away. And we've had several that have happened here recently. I believe like the drummer to the Rolling Stones had passed away. Yep. Lee Scratch Perry died. I found out that somebody who had a major influence on me as a child had passed away in December, and I didn't realize it. And so anyway, it just got me thinking about like these normally. And I don't know how you feel about it, Pat, but normally like a celebrity bites the dust, and I'm like, meh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm never like, oh, good, I'm glad they're dead.
No, it's kind of
sometimes, but most of the time I'm not like that.
Yeah, for the most part, there's no like I think the last one that really was kind of like that, or like when they're like polarizing people. When they're people that are outspoken, then that you may have a feeling, or at least the first initial lizard brain reaction is like, oh yeah, fuck that person. But it's also like, like what did that really do to me? Like
Nothing.
Right before I found out they were dead, I was living fine anyway.
I was perfectly okay.
So it's like it's perspective of that is, but I do have that feeling like very often I'm like, I don't ever want to criticize people because now I've felt it. But I always did have that feeling of like, so what?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck? The
Well,
guy
I mean,
in the movies fucking died.
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
like, but I really like their movies. And it's
Right.
like, once it happens to musicians or artists that I
Yeah.
have been a part of,
Yeah.
like, that's when I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, once you start connecting the dots to like what this person meant to you, like all of a sudden you're like, why am I so fucked up about this?
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to admit it, but here's what happened. So Lee Scratch Perry died, and for those that don't know who Lee Scratch Perry was, you just have to look him up. But he had a major influence on all kinds of different styles of music. He came from Jamaica, and so like just the sound of Jamaica and how it evolved over the years after. So what we had in Jamaica is we had foundationally we have ska music. Then you had rocksteady, then you had reggae, and then you had the sound that came out of reggae, and Lee was a part of all of this. And the way that sound evolved into like modern Jamaican influences in other modern sounds today, like Lee Scratch Perry had a huge influence on all that.
Yeah.
And so when he died, he was older, but I mean, it was very sad. But what happened is in the process of this, like reading about it, his obituary and so on and so forth, is I found out that a key member of a rap group, that the very first rap group I ever listened to as a kid in 3rd grade had died in December, and I didn't realize it.
Wow.
And it hit me like a freight train, and I was really upset about it. It was his stage name is Ecstasy, and he was of the rap group Whodini. Okay, and Whodini was the first rap group I ever listened to in 1986 in 3rd grade, because I met my first best friend in 3rd grade. His name was John Mills, or is John Mills. He's still alive. John Mills, and John Mills came from Detroit.
Yeah.
And when I met John said, hey, in Detroit, we listen to rap. And I grew up in the country. Well, I say country, but I mean, I grew up in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, it was sort of suburban, but not really. It was outside before suburbia was like really big around here, developments and so forth. But I'd never listened to rap. I didn't know what rap was. What's rap?
Right.
And so he showed me rap. And Whodini was the first group. Whodini and the Fat Boys. Those are the first 2 groups I ever listened to. And so anyway, when I found out that Ecstasy had died from this group, and now they haven't made a record since like, I don't know, 1998.
Yeah.
But when I found, or 96, when I found out that he died, though, it felt like a part of my youth had passed away.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's it. Is like you have the connection with them, because I don't know if it's. I was just trying to think of that, like especially because you were saying with like with Lee Scratch. What was it again?
Lee Scratch Perry.
You were saying like, oh, he's older. It was like
Sure.
wasn't like it was like a surprise. Like, oh no, what happened?
Not really. Yeah.
I wonder if like the reason it bums us out is like, did we think that there was going to be like one more like super profound thing that we know that they're not going to give that a great performance again, probably, or they're not going to write another whole album or something. But you're hoping that like they'll go say something or do something that's like that much more, that gives you that much more to love about them. Like, not that you need that, but it's just, I don't know, it's one of those things.
It's true,
but there is a connection to it, and I think the part that you're talking about is the connection to your childhood. That's when you're empathizing of like, this is somebody that was, since I've been around, has always been around.
Exactly. And he showed me like
a family member.
Yeah. In a weird way, he showed me a new world that I didn't know or understood existed. And it led to this huge exploration of culture and music that like I still listen to this day, and think man, and also it relates directly to like having really fond memories of my childhood because of the music that he helped make.
Right.
And like the fact that he's not here to make that be, the way you said it was exactly right. Because I'll give you another example of one that really rocked me, who did give something away, the sort of last statement after he had already died. And that's Phife Dawg from Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, okay.
Because they put out a record that it was their final recording and their final record that they had made before they put it out after he had passed. But man, to hear his voice then on that record, knowing that he wasn't going to make another one, man, it was pretty like.
It made it that much more important. Like you not that like the other things that you have of them, the other pieces of art that you have by that artist are always going to be there.
Sure.
They're always going to be amazing, and they're always going to be like you're still always going to have the connection you do with them.
Right.
And that's the thing is I think you're scared of. It's like when you talk about a family member that passed away.
Sure.
Like
okay.
it immediately brings you back to like the feeling of like them being around. When you start talking about them, you start getting that feeling again. And you're like, oh fuck, like yeah,
right.
That's how you get when you listen to their music. So like
I agree. Yeah.
So like you have no new things, so that makes it very much like it brings your mortality up. And saying like, oh, do I have any more new albums than me?
Yeah,
do I have any new like? Fuck, I won't ever hear a new Fife Dog song ever again. It makes you feel like, am I dead? Oh no. Oh, okay. It's just. I mean, that's sad,
right?
But like, it's also
but better him than me.
I can still listen to that. I love the guy.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's weird.
Do you have any like specific celebrity deaths that like impacted you?
Yeah, I think it was Greg Giraldo.
Okay,
that was the first one that because it was a shock, and he's a comedian.
I don't know who Greg Giraldo is, so give just a background real quick on there.
Greg Giraldo was a stand-up comic from, I think he was from New York. He was actually a I believe Harvard educated lawyer.
Okay,
he worked as a lawyer, but then gave up being a lawyer and started doing comedy.
Okay.
Or was doing like that.
Right.
Like, gave that career up to do that career.
Right.
Was really big on the roasts, a lot of the Comedy Central roasts.
Gotcha.
But I particularly loved his stand-up. I discovered him through like Comedy Central and stuff like that.
Sure.
As far as like his honesty in his material was making it so like cartoonish.
Gotcha.
His behaviors, which were like outrageous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but that actually ultimately substance abuse and stuff like that led to his demise. I believe it was, I think it was pills and alcohol or something like that. I always thought like I was going to get to work with him one day, even before,
interesting, yeah,
before I had like a specific real idea of like me realistically doing comedy on a regular basis.
Right.
I always felt like I was going to work with him in some capacity because I felt that connection to his material so much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so like when he died, like it felt like a piece of that, like your like hopes and dreams kind of like died with him.
It was kind of like that's the way I think you relate to it is obviously by putting yourself in their life because you're like I felt like I discovered him in a way.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. I mean? Oh yeah.
But like there was still a very personal feeling of like, man, like I'll never get to like be like, dude, you have no idea. Like I'm the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I was in his audience. I was a genuine like fan of his personality.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that like we have these we have a couple more to talk about today too.
Yeah.
And that is, what I think is interesting about this is that there is a piece of these people that the thing that's I think that you and I are connected to is that these are people that are making things.
Yeah.
And so they're creative people, and they're making stuff, and we understand because we're making things too, and like there's a connection there, whether it's like a similarity in style or just an understanding. And when you are making things, like all you want is for people to connect with that work.
Right.
And you're not concerning like if somebody's a fan, if somebody likes the things that you're doing, like you're not like, oh, you're too small for me. You're Pat, like, oh, you're just a kid and whatever. No, you're like really appreciative of that.
Right.
And so like understanding that those parallels like makes a big difference. So yeah, they sometimes will become very popular and then everyone's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan." And that's all good. But you have a piece of that's like, no, you understand that they like changed the course of my life through the work that they made.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, so when they die, like you're like, oh damn, like I usually don't give a shit about
you don't think
about
of
these
like,
things, but good grief, man.
I can't think of a lot of like actors. I don't have a connection with a lot of actors.
Sure.
But I always think there's a lot of times people get connected to characters that they play or something like that. But I think that's why I think it's different with musicians, or it's different with like painters, or it's different with people that are like it's their thing. It's so bare.
Yeah.
It's so like I created this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like now judge it. Like
right.
now, like everybody's going to have an opinion on it.
Right.
And the bigger you get, it doesn't feel like it gets easier. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it doesn't feel
yeah.
like unless you're doing it the way you want to do it.
Right, exactly.
So that's the people that I think we're connected to the most are people that are like the most. So like if we have a connection with them, obviously we connect with their art. So it's like a part of us is dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting. Yeah.
Even if they help create that part of you.
There's a certain level of comfort and safety in that, like that person's still alive and they are the symbol of where I'm going or where I want to go, and it feels like part of that shell or part of that protection goes away. Like you're more vulnerable at this point because they're no longer creating this environment anymore. They're dead. They're not. They're making anything. And like, not to digress too much, but I often felt that way after my dad died. Was that like, even though I was an adult when he died, I was like, now, because my dad always protected everybody, took care. Now I'm like, who's going to do it now?
Yeah.
Now it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Fuck.
You're
sad. You're grieving, and then you're also like, now you're perturbed. Like,
fuck.
Right
now it's my job. Right.
Fuck.
Yeah. So for the first time in your life, like you realize that now I have to be an adult. You know, and like that's never fun. But like I think that's true to say, like for these creative people, they've created an environment like where they are the keepers of that, and you fall inside of it, and then they die, and you're like, oh, now I'm out on my own. You know, you're like, fuck.
It's a very lonely feeling. It's almost like it's that feeling that motivates a lot of people to do. It's almost like when a pet dies. I'm not saying that the feeling's the same way, but you have that void immediately.
Yeah.
And with a pet, it's very easy to fill that void.
Sure.
So you do it usually by getting a new pet.
Right.
Like you grieve for a couple days and you're like, no, we got another one. I didn't learn anything. I'm a fucking idiot.
That's what I did when my dad died. I just went and got another one.
Got on your dad.
I was like, I can't deal with this. So.
Mom, how about that guy? He seems pretty nice. Come on over here. You're just pimping your mom out at Home Depot.
So no, but I agree. But one of the things that's interesting about that is that the work that's left behind, you still listen to, or you still hear, and like, right. So like you're like, it's like a constant reminder that there's not any more work to be made. For instance, the number one death, and I call it celebrity death, but
for lack of a better term, I think that's a good thing, because there is everybody that's subjective.
Well, I was going to say, because I mean, we could talk about Joe Strummer dying or Joey Ramone dying, or but these are very like if you're not a punk rock fan,
it didn't feel as much. They didn't feel like they were mine.
Right.
I knew they weren't mine. They were on a different. It's like saying like, no, Tom Cruise is my favorite actor. Like, all right, buddy. Like,
right.
Okay,
right.
You love Tom Cruise.
Right.
You're the guy.
Right. You're the number one fan.
I'm not saying like you're a hack or anything, but I'm just saying like you can't have that. Yeah, I feel that.
Well, and there is those, and then you have like. So the one though that rocked me, and it still rocks me to this day, is that it was when MCA from the Beastie Boys died. Yeah. Because I'm who is the number one Beastie Boys fan in the world? It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, every other one of you guys are imposters.
Yeah. Everybody else is.
You think
lying,
you like them, but like name 3 songs.
Yeah.
But MCA was one of those ones that you had. So with that body of work, with that many albums and that many. And that was a band that had a fucking ton of personality. Like
lots of personality, very talented musicians.
It didn't seem like celebrities. Those guys never seemed like, and that's the funny thing that we were talking about, just celebrities. But like that's why I don't feel like the Beastie Boys were like celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
they were like,
and they weren't in a lot of ways, because what's interesting about them is that, like, and of course you can appreciate this, is that they started off as a punk rock band. Yeah. Right. So I mean, you have this ethic, this ethos that permeated their decision tree. That ultimately it had its ups and downs. It had its like successes and failures. I mean, at one point. They had started Grand Royal. At the Drive-In was on Grand Royal. Yeah. I mean, Grand Royal ate itself and it got destroyed. But what's interesting about that, one of their ethics is that they would never sell out their music to advertising, and they never did.
Right.
That's not why they made their music. And they played their own fucking instruments, and they were brilliant at it.
Right. I know it's going to fuck me up, like when this person's passes away. But Fat Mike from NoFX, or really anybody from the band, really.
Right. Of course.
Anybody that like once those guys start like dropping like flies.
Yeah.
That's when I'm going to be like, or again anybody from Bad Religion.
Right.
But I being such a huge fan of his and the fact that he started this record label and signed all these bands that I also love, I'm like, that just reinforces the fact that, like, dude, we're like, I fucking get you.
Yeah.
But when he does pass away, I realize that's going to be one like MCA, like that is like, you have no idea. You like shaped like a big slice of my fucking life. You know what I mean? Like a big part of it. That is. Not only with the bands that were, how many bands, how many would you say you discovered via the Beastie Boys or MCA?
I mean, it would be countless. Yeah.
Like at least 2 handfuls, right?
Yeah.
It's nuts to think that, like, not only are they, that's what makes them feel like friends or family, because they're like your buddies. Like, how many bands have you discovered from Joe?
Exactly.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a thing where you have this.
It's totally true. There's there's a social component of this that fits into your life that like makes sense. So it's almost as though you feel like if I ever met them in person and got to hang out with them, we would be fast friends.
Right.
Like
you wouldn't have to try. I feel comfortable.
Yeah. I would just be myself, and like they would understand me because I understand them. And to your point, like that's one of the the Beastie Boys is what made it what made me okay with and understand that like all the things that I love about underground music is all connected. Yeah. It's all the same shit.
Right.
So like we tend to segregate ourselves because you like a certain thing and that thing is the best thing, and then you kind of like this other thing but you don't want to tell anybody because you're like it's not
not that genre.
It's not that genre.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Fuck?
Or it's not. Yeah. But the reality is that like a lot of this stuff is all connected, and. The Beastie Boys were a perfect example of that because they were punkers who made hip-hop records, and I loved both of them.
Yeah.
I got into hip-hop first and then found punk rock. Which
is ironic because they went the other way.
I know, which was it, right, the other way. But then I had this group that was like, oh, yeah, of course. Of course it's the same thing. And what that meant is that you couldn't then listen to Public Enemy, for instance, and not recognize that Public Enemy is a punk rock band.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, this is hard as fuck. Like that is like, you know what I mean?
You get to that conclusion. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are the things. Like those are the connections. And then like when they die, like they're like, fuck. Like,
who's gonna help me make those connections?
Exactly.
Now I got to make those connections.
Right.
Fuck. Another goddamn chore.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But really, like in your own creative life, like at some point, you're on your own, bub, and you got to make it. You got to make yourself.
And it's kind of nice. And again, it's not the exact same comparison, but when a family member passes away or something like that, you have that kind of thing of you have that loss, but then you have that realization of like, oh shit, I'm prepared to take that spot.
That's right.
Like the fact that I'm worried about that means they were preparing me to take the spot. The whole
That's
time.
right, exactly.
And like just like somebody else is like, oh my god, who's gonna do that? As soon as you ask the question,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of reassuring that like that's how they live on is through you. Even the artist that you love, can live on through you in that sense because whether you introduce somebody to their art, to the thing, but just you being a cool person that knows how to convey a cool message.
Yeah,
is another way to live. Like they help teach you that too.
Exactly. Right.
They all had a part of creating the Jeff that we see here.
Indeed, including like how to take it in the ass by a feral donkey,
or to help your mother,
or help my mom take it in the ass by a feral donkey.
I don't think that's always a lane. I have been a person in the past that has not necessarily criticized, but not been able to understand how somebody can have that connection with somebody.
Sure.
But it's really ultimately comes down to like, you can't necessarily judge someone else's taste or preferences. And the fact that like, if you're criticizing the fact that they're sad that person, like you're literally criticizing a part of them.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, if this fucking teen pop star fucking overdoses on something, and they're just like, fucking, that's really sad. Like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot easier just to realize, like, oh no, that everybody has that with somebody. Celebrity chefs, fucking
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sports
Big
players.
impact. That's right.
When Anderson Silva passes away,
Yeah.
you know, God willing, hey, I don't know what any of this means.
I don't know what you're doing. But yeah,
that's something.
But yeah, praying.
But it's kind of like what he would do. He's like, I'm faking him out. That's how you honor him, as you kind of go.
Yeah.
But I truly enjoyed watching him work. That, like,
Sure.
I get it.
Sure.
But it's just the fact that it hasn't happened to you yet. If you're
Right,
criticizing, if you're
right.
criticizing somebody, that means the actor that you like, or you have that connection with, or that artist, or that painter. So look out, motherfuckers, because that's coming.
The way to end this segment, I'll tell you right now, is I'm wearing the shirt of Jeff Grosso, who passed away. He was a wildly popular, famous skateboarder from, from days gone by, and he recently passed here a couple years ago, or last year, or whatever. And Grosso forever, man. Like that wrecked me. It wrecked me. I had never met the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is my man, Jeff Grosso. Like, just the way, and not even from his skateboarding, but his presence after his career. I mean, he was always a skateboarder, and he was always a professional skateboarder. But even afterwards, like, he did a lot. He did Love Letters to Skateboarding. You guys should check out Love Letters to Skateboarding. It's connected to the Vans brand, but he spent his time trying to talk to people about why skateboarding is so fucking rad.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved him because he was so raw, and he hated the fact that skateboarding was going to the Olympics. He fucking hated it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was ours. Like, it's street, right? I mean, it's supposed to be underground. But anyway, all that said, like, yeah. Right there. Until it happens to you, like, you can be like, meh, Princess Diana, I don't give a fuck. But
I literally did. I remember that. I remember I felt kind of bad about it afterwards.
Well, I felt bad that she died, I guess.
Well,
but
I didn't know she was dead. I remember very distinctly that night. We were walking out of the door, and on the TV, the news was like, "Oh, Princess Diana in a car wreck or something, or a car crash or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, the princess heard her break her crown." And like, we went and like shot pool or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I was like, "Oh, sorry, candle in the wind, my bad."
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
But like, I didn't buy a Beanie Baby or anything.
Yeah.
But there was I think,
or buy the album.
Yeah, I did not know. But the single. Kind of burn long before you can be. He just repurposed a fucking song. What a dickhead.
You didn't even write your own song for it.
What kind of fucking tribute? Like, Princess Diana is a candle in the wind. Like, fuck you.
Oh, so what this episode's really about is fuck you, Elton John.
When he passes away, I'm going to be like, crocodile will rock your ass to hell. I don't give a fuck. Even when I did find out she passed away, I felt kind of bad for, like, mocking that she was in the car wreck.
Sure.
But it still didn't hit me like,
right.
I'm like, why is everybody crying?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, in a moment of vulnerability for everybody here. Are you ready for this one?
You cried?
And I don't. No, fuck that. No, I didn't cry.
Fucking skated that day.
Yeah,
I
fucking ripped it up. I didn't care. But here's the thing. Like, I remember, like, so many moons ago, your host of the 6 a.m. podcast was married early on before I have an ex-wife. Okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
And we were only married for like 2 years. And that's a good thing because honestly, like, it was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, if you thinking about divorce after 2 years, it's probably time for
you might have been thinking about divorce like the day you got married, but nonetheless, Jeff Beck life advice. Here it goes. If you are about to get married, okay, and you are in whatever wedding vestibule you're in, whether it's a church or what have you, and in your thoughts are, how do I get out of this?
Wow.
Don't do it.
Jesus Christ.
Just fucking leave.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes,
Great
everybody's
advice, by the way.
going to be shocked. Everybody's going to be disappointed. But trust me, just leave.
Yeah. At first I was like, damn, that's very specific advice, Jeff. Did this happen to somebody you know?
Maybe.
But then I was thinking, like, yeah, that is legitimately great advice, because if you're in a case like that,
yeah.
First of all, like, if I can add to your advice, do you mind? Do you consent to me
Of course.
Because you don't know what I'm going to say. But,
I don't, but I trust you.
Okay.
Which is a mistake, but go ahead.
No, it's good. It's going to be good.
Okay.
Make it funny. Give everybody a story.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to talk about it. Everybody's going to talk about it.
Right.
Everybody's going to be
It's going to be part of lore.
Because people are going to be like, why are you home so early? Everybody at your wedding, everybody's going to either... Like, most of the people are going to be like, oh, we can save money on the babysitter. Fuck this. We're out.
Yep.
Get the present.
Yeah.
Get the present off the table.
Yeah.
We're going to return that.
That's
So, you're going to take that. Try to grab the money box before you do it also.
That's right. The bag of money.
Try to grab the bag of money.
Yeah.
But also make it as funny as possible. Like, do it when they say, if anybody has anything to objection, just go, I do.
What?
Who said that?
Who?
I do. Over here.
Who's that? Well, I guess this is off.
Well, oh, man. I mean that guy.
There's an objection.
Whoever it is, I'm going to go look to see who that is, and
okay.
then just never come back. Like, give him something funny. Shit your pants.
Yeah.
Do something like...
I thought the same thing.
You're already embarrassed. You're already in front of everybody. Like, double down, baby.
Yeah, go for it.
You're on a house. You're playing with house money right now.
That's right.
You're in a very rare predicament. You're in a really, really awkward scenario.
I agreed.
Make it... You hold all the cards. Make it the most awkward.
How are you like? What are the chances of you being in this situation again?
Ever again?
That's right.
Like, especially if you're realizing it right now.
That's right.
If you're like, oh, I should never do this ever
Once
again.
in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
That's right. Man,
Kiss
I like
the priest. You know what I mean? Like, do something hilarious and
fuck
big.
him in the ass with a feral donkey.
Suck his dick with your ass. With a.
Every time I post these episodes, I have to select whether it's explicit or not.
Yeah. This is a doozy. What that one say? This is not common, but it's a doozy. That's the description of this one.
Exactly.
It's not common, but this one's a doozy.
That's right. You're just gonna have to hang on to your own cock, and
I'm using that, by the way.
That's right. It's funny because this whole thing was about what I wanted to give. Like, that was a 7-minute digression into my ex-wife. But here's the thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
One of the things.
No,
it was fucking awesome. Here's the deal is when John F. Kennedy Jr. died. Do you remember this at all?
I do.
Okay. So,
I was at an airport, by the way.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember where I was too, and the only reason I remember it is because when I came home from work that day, is that my ex-wife was on the floor with like all these magazines that she had bought, and she was crying over John F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, I just need to make sure that everybody understands is that we've never once in the time of a relationship talked about John F. Kennedy Jr.
And you have no idea of her relationship with him or the fact that she
like,
has a very strong connection to him?
She was just very sad about this, and she was very upset about it. And I was like, I don't understand why you're so upset about it. And then I understood that, like, we shouldn't be together.
So that was one of the celebrity deaths that affected you in a positive way.
I would think so.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks, John F. Kennedy Jr. for going missing.
Yeah, for flying an airplane that you had no business flying.
Secret island where your dad lives. We all know the truth.
With Elvis.
Wake up, people! Can you give a double explicit on this one?
There has to be a warning at the beginning of this episode so that my kids don't listen to it.
Oh, now why? You don't want to... I mean, kids, if you're listening or watching, and you shouldn't be, turn it off.
Right now, after the whole...
But...
Did you just wink?
No. But if you can say...
But...
all of those curses in fluent Italian or French...
I think that's another hour of video games you just earned.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Me?
Well, I was talking to my kids, who I know are listening to it, because if you tell them not to do it, that's a guarantee, children after my own heart, that you have to listen to this.
Right. Rules are great. Break them.
Break them.
Right? Huh?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
We needed that. We needed the balance, though, because we're talking about death. That's sad.
It was sad.
It can be a trigger for some people.
I think
so. It
so.
can make you depressed.
Yeah, I understand.
And we need
especially
a lot
as you're all listening and thinking about all the people that have passed in your time that like really rocked you and
how many times they told you to go fuck your mother's butt. Butt's better than ass. But to me, I'm going on record right here. I've said a lot of controversial things in my life. One being, I think crispy chicken skin is better than bacon. But I'm going to say this right now. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
Okay, you did.
Butt's better than ass. You butt fucker. Ass fucker? Boring. Butt fucker? Hilarious.
Yeah, but you can't be like, okay, my wife, she's a fine piece of butt.
Yeah, she is. You know what I mean? My wife's got a big ass. Oh no!
Oh,
Wait, wait a minute.
See?
Counterpoint. That's what the show's all about. Balance, guys. Now
Point,
we know.
counterpoint.
It's not that it's better. It's my favorite.
Okay. Do you know what we should do? We should ask a black belt.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Ian says,
shout out to Ian.
Or asks, sorry. I'm sure you aren't out seeking fights, but do you secretly hope someone tries to fight you?
No.
Like you're never out even, I mean, again, are you saying that because you're on tape? Hey, look, this one's off the record, guys. Jeff.
So we're not recording now, so I can speak honestly?
Yeah, do you kind of wish a fucker would?
Yeah, just
fucking try me, brother.
I will tell you, Ian, I will tell you that no, I don't go out looking for, and there's not a time that I'm walking around wishing that somebody will fight me. And the reason is that for between 5 and 6 days a week, I have people that know how to fight try and fight me.
Yeah.
And
it's a reality.
Yeah, it's a drag. Okay. So, I mean, that's a component of like what we do every day that's not as much fun as it sounds. Okay. But with that said, there have been several occasions in which I think this usually happens in some, like when you go to a friend's house or a gathering.
Yeah.
And they have friends that you don't know. And sometimes, like, it'll come up, oh, Jeff, he does jujitsu or whatever. And then that person has something to say about the fact that, like, jujitsu doesn't work.
Okay.
Or jujitsu is fine if you like rolling around on the ground with other men.
Yeah, but you can't do anything against a fucking karate guy.
Yeah, you wouldn't do anything.
I mean, shit, I study karate. So,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, like, or they'll.
We had guys like you at our gym. Like,
Yeah,
they do shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard it all, man. In addition to the ones that are like, well, if you tried that on me, I would do this. And I'm like,
what was that again?
Okay, let's try it out. But it's never come to blows.
No, just lift his legs. Yeah, just lift his legs.
To lift his legs, you got to get the blood back to his brain.
Hey, what were you going to say? What were you saying about that?
And I will say this too, Ian, that if it were to come to that, and let's just say for the sake of argument that it results in a choke, and they are tapping, I will put them to sleep. I won't let go until they go to sleep.
And this is the more serious one.
Ooh.
This is from John from New Jersey.
We're going to get serious.
Why Pat stinks so much?
I have a answer for you, John, and that is, and it comes in the form of 2 words. It's hot dogs. The reason Pat smells so bad is hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Okay? So, I mean, I can't elaborate any further than that.
Yeah. Everybody that rolls with me knows.
It's hot dogs.
I wash my gi in hot dog water. Down by the river. On a rock.
No. Clean my gi with some hot dogs.
Suck the Pharaoh donkey's dick with my ass. Shut it off, kids. Don't listen. Why Pat stinks so much? Pharaoh donkey dick. I got it's my mom's. Oh, we're never gonna be able to put this out.
This
is a triple X episode.
This one got me. Oh shit.
Okay.
There you go, John.
Yeah, John. Hot dogs.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Jeff.
Yes, sir.
What's on your turntable?
Oh shit. Well, I have to say, guys, that honestly, like I had one plan for this time that was really interesting.
Okay.
But when I found out that Ecstasy from Whodini died, I've been listening to Whodini all week.
Nice.
So here's my recommendation for you all. If you want to take a trip back to the 80s and when hip hop was in its infancy, all right, I highly recommend Whodini Escape. Okay, the record's name is Escape. Mm-hmm. All right, or Back in Black. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So listen to it, like it's they're incredible records. They're great records, and Whodini has a slew of other great records. So it's not even that, but it's just like if you want to know
Like,
listen to the song "We Are Whodini," and now you understand.
How cool would it be if you're like leaving, like now you're driving around, or you're leaving the gym or something like that? Anything like you're just now. That's just more likelihood now. You've put it out there.
I've put it out there, so I want people to listen.
You might
to
be driving by, you hear somebody else, like you can hear it in another car. Like imagine that. Like then you know you had a positive effect, or at least you know it's just a reminder of the positive effect that they had.
I'm telling you, I want to hear it. Hear it blasting out your windows, like exactly.
That's awesome.
Hotter than fire, too young to retire, with a special gift to take you one step higher.
Hot dogs,
peaches and cream, the American dream, protected and respected on the disco scene. Climbing that ladder, we're taking the crown because you just can't keep a good man down. We deserve the part from the very start, and everything we do is straight from our heart.
Hell yeah.
We're the Pied Pipers of the 1980s. Okay, I'll stop.
I was like, wait, I don't know when this ends. I haven't listened yet. I haven't gotten into it yet.
Listen to "We Are Whodini" on the album Escape, okay, and then you'll get an understanding of why. Like imagine listening to that song and you're in 3rd grade.
Okay. All right. Yeah. See, now you're putting it somewhere. Yeah. Now, see, this is now we're back to the audio listeners, guys.
Yeah.
Imagine you're 3 years old. You don't know any of those terrible words that we said earlier. It's a simpler time, and you're listening to incredible, like unfiltered, unaffected, nicely unadulterated, pure hip hop.
Yeah.
Like this is, like you said, this is a fresh new landscape being built as we speak. As a 3-year-old you. Yeah. Wait, no, 3rd grade. Sorry.
3rd grade me. Yeah.
Now I've made you got Benjamin Button disorder. Now you're 3 years old.
Let me take you back to the time you were 3 years old.
But yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I will definitely do that. Like,
you caught your mom sucking donkey dick
no!
with her ass.
Oh, innocence lost. So young.
How do you compartmentalize that?
Yeah.
What do you do with it? Okay, so what's on your turntable?
Me?
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. A vulnerable pet here. You know what I mean? This is somebody that I
respect it.
This is an unironic listen that I feel like I'm giving you a true recommendation. There's some of these songs.
It's Enya, isn't it?
No. Gino Vanelli.
Ooh.
You know, are you aware of Gino Vanelli?
I'm not, but I'm curious to know more about this.
This is a guy that has put out albums in the 70s, 80s, probably 90s, but definitely 2000s.
Okay.
And early 2000s.
Okay.
And I unironically like pretty much all of this catalog. You know what I mean? Like there's I'm sure there's a couple like whatevers, you know, like not like
what kind of music is it?
There's like classic 70s like soft rock feel, right? You know, almost like a yacht rock kind of thing.
Yacht rock, all right.
And then there's like easy listening to like almost like an R&B kind of feel or like soft soul.
Yeah.
There's like it's weird. It's very soulful music. Like so Living Inside Myself is the song in particular. If I'm gonna if there's a gateway song,
Living Inside Myself.
Yeah, Living Inside Myself is the song by Gino Vanelli that I feel like that was my gateway song, and I feel like it is if I may,
you may,
another banger for the perfect song category. It's just like it's great. It kind of reminds you of like 90s end credits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That song, like it's got really like beautiful guitar. Every bit of the composition is incredible. Like so it doesn't seem corny. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's so sincere that it's like no man, he's fucking living inside himself.
That's right.
You know, it's a beautiful song.
Is he one of those guys that you're like, how the fuck is he coming up with this?
Yeah. Like it's kind of like I feel like it sounds so familiar, but like I've never heard anything like this at the same fucking time.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And I feel like over all the genres that he covered, like I was interested. So Living Inside Yourself, I believe, is either 80s or 90s version of him.
Okay.
So after I found that out, I kind of dived into the 70s, and it's 70s version of that. So it's like a whatever the 90s version of it came.
He's kind of a time capsule then in that way.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, of each era.
Yeah.
Like he kind of totally encapsulates that era, in my opinion, perfectly.
But clearly prolific enough to continue on from that time period and continue to adapt and make
the 2000 stuff does sound a little dated. It sounds but it's like it's a proper enough send back to what he was doing.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's to me I would say Living Inside Myself by Gino Vanelli is a great starter. If you like that, then check out some of his other shit.
Awesome, man. Great. I mean, you keep like elevating this. Like, I feel like my suggestions are pretty like banal. You know?
Yours have a lot more
but you keep
feeling in
like
them. Mine are like, this is a good song that gave me goosebumps.
that's the way. Well, that is feeling. I mean,
yeah.
But you keep raising the bar on this, man. I'm gonna have to like. I'm step it up a little bit.
I'm attempting to. So how about this though? What was your, just as an honorable mention? What was your plan?
No, I can't tell because I'm going to save it for next week.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I'm going to save it for next week because it's actually really fucking good, and I was surprised.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll save it for next week, but
don't be so down on yourself.
I
Jeff.
won't be. I'll try and be better about this.
You leave that for your mother.
I'm going to hang on to my own cock.